Good morning, everyone. Welcome to day 19 of the Big Mac Challenge. So it's an early morning. Took Preston to school early so that he could go for his cross country, and tomorrow I have a meeting at work at 10, so today is going to have to be grocery shopping day. So my husband is dropping the other two young ones off, and then he's going to come back to pick me up so we can go grocery shopping. So before we go, I have half of a sweet potato left from a couple days ago, so I'm going to go ahead and eat that, and that'll probably be about maybe 3 to 4 grams of fiber, so not really super impressive amounts of fiber by any means, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it will taste very good. I am going to go shopping with my husband, and then tonight I am making, it's called Holy Mole Enchiladas. It's from gimmeoven.com, I think is what it's called. I will for sure put a link in the description box below, but I'm pretty sure that's what the website was called. So simply because I'm going to make it, but it will end up being just slightly different from what it is that she has in there, simply because I'm going to, well, I'll make it the way that she has it for the enchiladas that my husband and Connor and I eat, and then I'm going to have to make a second batch for the other boys. But because of that, because they can't have tomato, and in mole sauce you need tomato. So anyways, I'm going to use a slightly different version of sauce for them. But I am making in this crock pot right here some, I call them, I don't remember what I called it, but anyway, it's a baked bean recipe that I came up with, but I thinned it out just a little bit so that I have it on warm rather than on high or low, because it gets really thick, and I need the sauce to be a little bit thinner so that I can use that as the topping for their enchiladas. But the beans are going to go in the enchiladas, both the boys and ours, and I think this is going to taste fantastic. I think it looks like a fabulous recipe. So I'm gonna go do some shopping, and then I think my husband and I are going to have cabbage salad for lunch from Mary's Mediterranean. So today is definitely not a 16-hour don't eat kind of day. It's not intermittent fasting today at all. I've been pretty good about that for the most part, but here and there have been times that I've just eaten on one end or the other, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about it. So anyways, today is also a weights day. We will probably, if we have time, we'll do that in the middle of the day rather than after supper tonight, simply because I tend to have more energy as I'm going throughout the day than I get towards the end of the night. I have plenty of energy when I get home from work in the morning to exercise, but by the end of the day, when I'm home, my energy is just gone, which is kind of silly, but anyways, it's true. Alrighty. So that's it for me for this morning. My salad is going to be very similar to the salad that I made, the Lebanese salad that I made. That's what the type of salad that they have there. So I'm just going to have a bowl of salad that will, not a big bowl of salad, just enough to keep me full until supper time. But I'm really looking forward to this supper recipe. The mole sauce, apparently, when you make mole sauce, for real mole sauce, it takes like hours to days to make, depending upon how you make it, and she basically reduced the recipe down into a 20-minute recipe. So I'm going to make it and taste it, and if it's awesome and wonderful, then I'm going to use it and use it as the enchilada sauce on top of the enchiladas. And if it's not super awesome and wonderful, then I have store-bought enchilada sauce and I'll just use that instead. But I'm pretty sure that this is going to be a good sauce. I've made mole sauce once before. I think it was from, maybe it was just enchilada sauce, but it was like a mole sauce from Lindsay Nix. But what is her, Healthy Herbivore, Happy Herbivore, something like that? I have one of her books. I don't remember which one though. Anyways, there are mole sauces out there. So I'll try it first before we put it on the enchiladas though. But anyways, I need to go finish making my grocery list. It's almost done, and my video for the day is almost done uploading. We've got a new internet provider that they put fiber optics down in our area, which is wonderful because it used to take 2.5 hours to upload a video, and now it takes like, I don't know, between 20 and 40 minutes. It's like fabulous. It is so nice. But anyways, that's it for me for this morning. I'm gonna go eat my sweet potato quick before my husband gets home, and I will see you guys later. All right, guys, so it is the middle of the afternoon, and Anthony doesn't have to leave to go get the boys from school for a little while yet. So we are going to exercise now, and we don't really need the Derby site up anymore because it's the same set of exercises, so we actually know which ones they are. Oh, we don't. And so Anthony's just searching on the YouTube or whatever right now for some music to listen to. So we're going to listen to some music and work out, and it's going to be wonderful. Yeah, but that's it for me for now. I will come back and talk to you guys again in a little while about some mole sauce, and I'll show you what I'm putting together to go inside the enchiladas. Alright guys, so I get to make some mole sauce here pretty quick, but I need to get some vegetables in the oven to start roasting because we're going to have roasted vegetables inside of our enchiladas. So basically I have just kind of a random assortment of vegetables. I think this is going to be just wonderful, but got little tiny chunks of cauliflower. These are little baby Indian English? I don't remember. These are some kind of an eggplant. They're little round purple guys, like little round ones that I get at H Mart, my Asian grocery store. Pepper, and yellow squash. So that's what's going in the oven right now at 400 degrees. I'm going to cook this for probably about 20 minutes, maybe half an hour. Get some of this cooking so it'll be good in a enchilada. These are the gluten-free wraps that I'm going to use. There's all sorts of ingredients in here. They are not super awesome, like super physically healthy lots. They've got extra ingredients in there that are not wonderful, but I don't have time to make my own, and yeah, I'm not going to make my own. I have before. It's a lot of work, and sometimes they turn out well and sometimes they don't, but anyways, I'm going to go get this in the oven, and then I'll be back with you guys in a minute to make some mole. Be right back. Alright guys, so there's apparently, we'll just go with two. There's about 2 steps to making this mole. So the first thing that you're gonna do is chop up a cup of onion and then put some garlic with it and saute it. So, got about a cup of onion. I don't ever measure onion. That looks like about a cup. And I'm going to put some, it actually calls for 4 cloves of garlic. So I'm going to put that garlic in those 2 things in a pan, and I'm going to saute them for a few minutes, probably about 5-6 minutes. You're also supposed to add a jalapeno right now if you're going to want to cook jalapenos in your mole sauce. I am not going to do that step. I'm not even going to put green onion or green peppers in it. What are those things called? Chili peppers. Mild diced green chili peppers. I'm not gonna put that in there either. So you do that part and you get it till it's about the onions kind of cooked. And then you want to add in some more ingredients. So at that point you want to add 1/4 cup of chili powder. That's 4 tablespoons. That seems like an awful lot of chili powder. And I know that's the whole point of the mole, is that you mix chili powder and chocolate essentially. It makes mole. I am going to start with 3 tablespoons rather than 4. And when all is said and done, if it needs more chili powder, I'll put some more in there. Putting 4 tablespoons in there really worries me, just because that might be a lot of flavor for me. So I'm going to start with just a little bit less. But it calls for 4 tablespoons, calls for 1/4 cup. So keep that in mind. And then you also want to put in there 2 tablespoons of flour. So 2 tablespoons of flour. And here are your other spices. A teaspoon of ground cinnamon, a teaspoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. And you're supposed to mix that up into it and let it continue to cook for about a minute until the flour starts getting stuck to the vegetables and stuff. And then when that's ready, you actually mix in 2.5 cups of veggie broth. So that's step number 1. You get it to that point and it's off the heat at that point. You take it off the heat, mix in your spices, mix in your veggie broth. Let me say that differently. You cook the spices for a minute and then you take it off the heat and you put the veggie broth in there. And you want to mix that and blend that with an immersion blender. So that's step 1. And after that, you actually add more ingredients to it and return it to the cooking again. So I'm gonna go do step number 1 and cook that part and put the little spices in there and put some broth in it and blend it up. And then I'm going to come back and we're gonna talk about what the other ingredients are that we're going to add into it after that. Okay, so I'll be back in just a little bit. This is what we have so far. And what we need to do now is put this back. I've blended this with the immersion blender. I need to put this back on heat, medium-low heat. And at that point, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons. It says almond butter, but if you read through it, it says to put whatever kind you want in there, and it says that she's made it with peanut butter and it works absolutely fine. So peanut butter, 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon of cacao powder, and 1 tablespoon of tomato paste. And you're actually supposed to whisk that in here until it melts. And then when that's done, it starts to simmer and thicken. Once that is done is when you taste it. And she definitely says that if you are used to things being a little bit sweeter, or if you have a little bit of a sweet tooth, that this would be the time to add in some sweetener. So you can add in like a little bit of maple syrup or something to make it a little bit sweeter. So I'm going to try it at that point and see what I think. I'm still a little concerned about this whole 3 tablespoons of chili powder that I put in there, let alone 4. So I'm going to go put this together. I think that, the flavor is going to totally change once the chocolate and the tomato and the peanut butter are in there. So I need to actually let that whisk together, and then I can try it and see what I think about whether or not I want it to be sweeter or not. So I'm gonna go put that back on the stove and get that going, and then I will be back to show you guys the final product of what this looks like. And the whole enchilada part should be really pretty easy. I'm going to take an enchilada, put some beans on it, and put some vegetables in it, and roll it up and put it in the glass dish, and when I'm done, put the mole sauce over the top, provided that I'm going to use it. We shall see. Okay, let me go work on this next step, and I'll be right back with you guys. So, done with the mole sauce. If you like things with some heat, maybe this wouldn't have any heat to you, I don't know. This is crazy spicy to me. Like, oh my gosh, that's a lot of heat to me. I put 3 tablespoons of maple syrup in it, and now I can tolerate it. It's still, my mouth is still not quite on fire, but it's still like, whoo, that's a lot of flavor going on there. So I'm going to be, I think my husband's going to absolutely love it. I think Connor is going to absolutely love it. They both love things just a little bit more flavorful than I do. I think they're both really going to enjoy it. This is a beautiful reddish orangish color. I think it's supposed to be dark, but mine is not dark. I'm not sure why not. But anyways, maybe the chili powder that she uses is darker. I'm not actually sure. She said that she uses chili powder. There's an asterisk after it, and it said, I use American style chili powder, which is not the same as cayenne chili powder, which, yeah, I don't know what the difference between those two is, but I don't think I have a cayenne chili powder because cayenne is spicy as all get out, so I'm pretty sure that's not what I use. Anyways, so I have all the veggies out of the oven. They're ready to go. The beans from this morning are ready to go. I just need to put stuff together and put it in the baking dish and get it baked up. So that's what I'm going to be working on next. I will not be using as much sauce. I'll probably put more sauce on one end of it than I do on the other end of it, and I'll eat this end that has a little bit less sauce, and my husband and my son will eat the end that has a little bit more sauce. But yeah, this is really good. Like, flavor-wise, the flavor is fantastic. Like, it's spot on in terms of, I've had mole before. I have a friend in college whose parents lived all over the place. They were missionaries. Lived all over the place, and she made all sorts of really neat food, and that was one of the things that she made a lot, was mole sauce. And I remember it being maybe not exactly like this, but it was very good, and this is very good. So anyways, I'm going to go work on getting food put together so we can get in the oven so they can get out at a decent time, and I will see you guys with a plate of food next. It is time to eat supper, and I have these beautiful little enchiladas. They're super pretty, and I've got lots of little vegetables inside of them. I'm guessing this is probably going to be perfect for my husband and my son, and probably just a little bit too spicy for me. I'm going to try a bite right now, let you know what I think of it. But I bet you if you like mole, this is probably exactly right up your alley. With the vegetables on the inside and the sauce, I can tolerate that level of heat. That's actually very good. Oh, I'm excited. I'll come back and talk to you guys after supper when I've actually had a chance to eat the whole thing and see how spicy it gets after eating a few bites, and let you know what my husband and my son think of this too. So I will talk to you guys in a little bit. All right, guys, so we are mostly done eating. That actually was really good. So that was not too spicy for me, and actually my husband was surprised that it wasn't too spicy for me, but it really wasn't too spicy. When you had all the flavors together, it was really good. My husband said he really enjoyed it. He in fact had seconds, and Connor, yes, yeah, he really liked it. So he put the, we had some leftover avocado sauce from last night's supper. He put some of that on his, and he really thought that was pretty good. So anyways, it's very good. It's tasty. I would definitely recommend making this, and I will see you guys again tomorrow.